Well, today we are going on a journey into the science of attraction, from that first electric spark all the way to what makes love actually last.
So let's just get right to it. What's the real secret here? Is it a perfect smile, a great sense of humor, or is there, some kind of hidden biological blueprint that's running the show without us even realizing it? The answer, as you're about to see, is a wild mix of all of it, and it starts with our most basic instincts.
All right, let's kick things off with a stat that might actually surprise you. Get this, according to one study, a full 70% of a man's physical attractiveness comes down to how strong he looks. Yep, not how tall he is, not how lean, but pure perceived strength. Now, if you think about it from an evolutionary perspective, it makes total sense. A strong partner could protect you, provide for you, and that ancient wiring is still humming away inside us today.
And that leads us perfectly into our first section, the primal pull. We're going to dig into the biological stuff that gets attraction going in the first place. Because, let's be honest, long before you ever say hello, your bodies are already having a full-on conversation.
So, to really nail down this whole strength thing, researchers did this really cool study. They gave a bunch of women a basic digital model of a man and said, okay, go for it. Build your ideal body. So what do you think they did? Where did they add the muscle?
And you know what? The results were incredibly consistent. Almost everyone beefed up the shoulders the most, followed right by the chest, the legs, and yeah, even the butt. It creates that classic V shape, you know? It's like this universal, ancient billboard that just screams, I'm strong and healthy.
Okay, so we've covered the physical, but we all know attraction is way more than just muscles, right? It's also about the stories we're drawn to, the archetypes that just get stuck in our heads.
See, attraction is all tangled up in stories. It's not always about finding the safe, stable provider. Sometimes it's about being drawn to a powerful, compelling force. I mean, just think about Beauty and the Beast. That story's lasted forever, and it's not about finding someone who's perfect, it's about taming someone powerful.
And psychologist Jordan Peterson points this out brilliantly with what he calls the 5 male monster archetypes in fantasy. You've got the vampire, the werewolf, the billionaire, the pirate, and even the surgeon. Each one is a different flavor of the same idea. They're powerful, they're competent, they're a little bit dangerous, and they are definitely not tame.
And this quote just nails it. The real fantasy, the core of the Beauty and the Beast story, is the challenge. It's the idea of meeting this wild, chaotic force of nature and being the one person who can civilize him. It's this deep-down belief that your love can be the thing that finally brings order to his chaos.
And if you think this is just some niche little thing, think again. This desire for passionate, uncertain love is a massive business. A full third, 1 out of every 3 books sold recently, was a romance novel. That entire industry is basically built on this deep psychological pull towards desire, and that thrilling, what's going to happen next feeling.
Okay, so we've got the physical, we've got the psychology, but what's actually going on inside our skulls when we feel this crazy pull? Well, that brings us to the actual chemistry of your brain on love.
You know that intense, can't eat, can't sleep, all-consuming feeling of falling for someone? That's not just a poetic idea. It is a real, measurable, biological event. It's a chemical cocktail flooding your brain that can make you feel like you're going a little bit crazy. In the best way, of course.
So chemical number 1 on our list is dopamine. This is the reward chemical. Your brain releases it when you do something new and exciting, and when you're falling in love, it absolutely surges. It's what makes you feel literally addicted to the other person. It's why you can't stop checking your phone, hoping for a text. You're just chasing that next dopamine hit. And to really understand how powerful this is, just look at this comparison. The exact same dopamine pathways in your brain that get hijacked by addictive drugs like cocaine, they're the same ones that light up when you fall in love. Seriously, this isn't a metaphor. That feeling of, I need to see them again, isn't just a want. It's a real, powerful chemical craving. All right, next up, serotonin. When you're falling in love, your serotonin levels can actually drop to levels similar to what you see in people with OCD. This is the scientific reason you can't get them out of your head. You're trying to work, but you're just daydreaming about them. Your brain is literally stuck in an obsessive loop, and that loop is them. And finally, there's the one that seals the deal, oxytocin. People call it the cuddle chemical, and it's what turns that addictive craving into a deep, warm feeling of attachment. It gets released during any kind of physical touch, from holding hands to having sex, and it's the chemical that makes you just want to curl up on the couch together and shut the world out. But, and this is a big but, there's a catch.
This chemical flood is so intense that, according to anthropologist Helen Fisher, it can actually shut down parts of your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that's in charge of rational thinking and good decision-making. It's the real scientific reason why love is blind and why we sometimes do, well, let's just say, questionable things when we're falling for someone.
So, how do you go from that wild, chemical-fueled, irrational storm to a stable, healthy, lasting partnership? Well, that brings us to our final section and a really modern trend that's been called slow love.
So slow love is a term from Helen Fisher, and it describes a huge shift in how we date. People are taking way, way longer to commit. And a huge driver for this is a deep-seated fear of divorce. A lot of people saw the emotional and financial train wreck of breakups in previous generations, and they're determined not to repeat it.
And this really shows you how much things have changed. Marriage used to be the starting line, right? You got married, and then you started building a life together. But now for a lot of people, marriage is the finish line. It's the grand finale after a long, careful pre-commitment phase. It's become less of a leap of faith and more of a final, calculated confirmation.
So, okay, you're in it for the long haul. How do you keep the magic alive? Well, science actually has some pretty clear, practical advice. Keep doing new, exciting things together. That keeps the dopamine flowing. Have sex regularly. It boosts attachment. Stay in physical touch, even just holding hands. That releases bonding hormones. And maybe the simplest one, say nice things to each other every single day. It literally lowers stress hormones for both of you.
And beyond what you do, it's about how you think. Brain scans of couples who are still madly in love after 20 years show they're great at empathy and controlling their own emotions. But the most fascinating part is their ability for what scientists call positive illusions. It's basically the skill of overlooking the annoying little things and focusing on the good. So instead of seeing them burn the toast and thinking, you're incompetent, you think, oh, how cute and forgetful. It's a game changer.
Which leaves us with one last big question to chew on. In this new age of slow love, with our very logical, rational quest for stability, and our very real terror of making the wrong choice, are we accidentally engineering the passion right out of our relationships? Are we so focused on avoiding the bad that we're missing out on that wild, uncertain, transformative love that makes for such a great story? Definitely something to think about.